Physical punishment, which is also known as corporal punishments or discipline. The American Institute for Foreign Study has defined it as the use of physical force with the intention of causing a child to experience pain or discomfort to correct or punish their behavior. Examples of corporal punishments include spanking, smacking, slapping, and hitting, especially with hard objects like a belt, stick, or a cane. Not only action like these counts, it can also include forcing a child to kneel, sit, or stand with an uncomfortable position or on painful objects. According to the research done by AIFS in 2021, parents using physical punishments usually have short-term and long-term goals for their children. According to the PubMed Central, the short-term goal is to typically get their children to stop engaging in undesirable behaviors. The National Library of Medicine had claimed the long-term goals of the parents using physical punishments were to reduce the undesirable behavior of their children and to make sure that their children will behave in socially acceptable ways. However, according to the American Society for the Positive Care of Children, research finds children externalizing behavior rather than truly stopping it. The Public Policy Institute for Wales, as known as the PPIW, had proven that physical punishment is, on average, no more effective at changing short-term behaviors than other forms of non-physical disciplines for defiant children. Even the WHO had shown evidences of how corporal punishments increase children's behavioral problem over time and has no positive outcomes. On the other hand, there are a lot of short-term negative effects and long-term negative impacts on the children being physically punished. According to the WHO's researches, the short-term effect despite from direct physical harms includes mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, lower self-esteem, emotional instabilities, cognitive impairment, emotion regulation, lack of problem-resolving skills, antisocial behaviors, increasement of stress, poor moral internalization, experience of hopelessness, increase of aggression, or the acceptance of violence, and even damage their education, for example, experiencing school dropouts, lower academic and occupational success. The AIF has even shown researches on how while corporal disciplines might negatively affect a kid's brain development, family relationships might also forever be impaired due to the physical abuse the child has suffered. All that physical and mental health strain might continue throughout adulthood and have lifelong consequences. Also, children who have been through corporal punishments are more likely to perpetrate violence, have criminal behavior, express hostility, have drug or alcohol dependency. And they might even start self-harming or commit to suicide. There are several indirect physical harm due to the overload of the biological system. According to the WHO's research, recipients will likely develop symptoms such as cardiovascular disease and obesity. In order to prevent and stop all these negative effects on children while enforcing discipline at the same time, parents need to come up with alternative solutions instead of resorting to physical violence. The NIU had made it clear that parents need to focus on promoting positive and nonviolent discipline strategies, including setting clear expectations, offering choices, using timeouts, and positive reinforcements for good behaviors. However, each method of discipline may have unique effects upon children. Some may be effective, while some might cause more harm. The best way is to discuss with your children about how you, as the parent, can best help the children to fix their behavior with appropriate amount of discipline without straying into the violent territory. Some might argue that children will never know their behaviors are unacceptable if you don't show your strong disapproval through physical punishment. However, researchers of the WHO had proven how corporal disciplines will cause children's behavioral problems to increase while having no positive outcomes in the meantime. In conclusion, Physical punishments bring no positive outcomes on children's behavior, but might even make them worse, and can cause over 10 kinds of different mental health illnesses that might impact them throughout adulthood or even last forever. Family relationships will as well be damaged, and the children might even pass it down, which will continue a cycle of physical punishments from generation to generation. In order to stop that, parents should start disciplining their children with more positive way, so they can actually learn their lesson in a way that will not lead to any of the possible negative consequences it will bring while building strong family relationships. Which, on the other hand, if you are the child being physically punished by your parents, you should try to talk to them and find a better solution to improve your own behaviors. And if it's getting more serious like abuse, then you'll need to go find a trusted adult, for example, your school counselor, and seek for help. Thank you.